Are you considering a career change to become a teacher? Look no further than the University of Goroka in the Eastern Highlands province of Papua New Guinea. We offer a variety of programs, including the highly sought-after postgraduate diploma in education. This program is designed to train you to become a qualified teacher based on your existing qualifications. Imagine the possibilities that come with being a teacher. You have the power to shape young minds, inspire and motivate the next generation. And with the University of Goroka's postgraduate diploma in education, you can make that dream a reality. Our program is perfect for those who want to make a difference in the world of education, whether you have a passion for sharing knowledge or have always been drawn to the teaching profession. This program will equip you with the necessary skills and expertise to excel in the field. This video serves as an assessment for the 2024 batch of postgraduate diploma in education students, specifically as part of our Introduction to Education Psychology course. Hi there, welcome. We are absolutely thrilled to have you here with us. Our goal is to help you understand the psychology of preference in teaching and learning. After watching this video,
I am Salem Abu.
And I am Tema Kokoro.
In this video, we are going to talk about the psychology prevalence of teaching in Papua New Guinea, basically on improving teaching and learning. Join us as we explore what it means and how it affects teachers, students, and colleges, and impact on teachers, challenges, and benefits it brings.
The general overview of this video, we have introduction, body, and conclusion. In introduction, it's the definition of psychology preferences in teaching and in learning. And in body, we have 4 main points of discussion. And number 1 is how psychology preferences affect teaching and learning. Number 2 point is how psychology preferences impact teachers and students. Number 3 is how psychology preferences affect the growth and the development of the students. The final point of discussion is on the benefits and challenges of psychology preferences. And after that is the conclusion. In conclusion, it will just a brief summary of the points that being discussed in this video. Okay, now, what is psychology preferences? Psychology preferences is about how we like to learn and to understand things. It is the way we process information and see the world. We all have different ways of learning, such as we see pictures to learn, we hear sound to learn, or we do hands-on activities. These preferences are influenced by different theories, like how our brain works and how we are intelligent.
First point of our discussion, how does psychology preference affect teaching and learning? So it helps educators or teachers to be selective the way they are delivering lesson to their students in order to the student to learn better. By considering students' preference in learning, we may able to capture their whole attention and make learning more effective and interesting.
Teachers can use different methods that match the students' learning preferences. For example, some students learn better by seeing a picture or diagrams, while others may learn better by hearing information like teachers teaching. Some students like to move around and have their hands-on experiences, like that involves activities that can put their hands on it. As a teacher, by using your student preferences, of mode of learning. You as a teacher make everyone in your classroom learns better in their own respective way. Second point of our discussion is
how psychology preference impact student, teachers, colleagues. Understanding psychology preference is not just helpful to students, but it also helps teachers and their colleagues to work together.
as professionals, you will work among many different people. It is good for you to know your colleague or the people you are collaborating with in terms of preferences of anything about your colleague. Let's say if you are teacher sharing your office with another colleague of yours. So you as an individual, you have to know the colleague that you are sharing the offices with. It may be in his or her ways of doing things, ways of communicating, ways of favoritism of anything. In order for you and your colleague to work well, you have to know your colleague preferences. Knowing your colleague's preferences in anything, either in your colleague's way of learning or way of communication, then it's going to help you understand your colleague and you as well, so that you guys can work together in a more collaborative and effective way. Okay, for example, preferences in your communication. Some of your colleagues may prefer typing or texting, and some of your colleagues may prefer face-to-face talking. So, if you understand your colleague preferences, then you may be able to help or communicate in a way that is understanding, is suitable for them, and the working collaboration in your team will be effective. When doing so, you will collaborate with your colleague well. The third point of our discussion is on how psychology preferences affect the growth and the development of the students.
Development. Psychology preference is important for the student growth and development because it shapes their learning experiences and outcomes.
When students learn in ways that match their preferences of learning, they become more engaged and they take ownership of their learning or their studies especially. Okay, this helps the students to gain confidence and develop skills relating to a particular topic or lesson being discussed. It is not just about academic, but it's also about becoming a well-educated person. I'll say if we as a teacher, if we take on board our ways of teaching by selecting the learning preferences of our students, and it grounded them well, and then they become someone with more understanding, and they become someone better, I'll say. The final point of our discussion is on the benefit and challenges of psychology preferences in teaching.
Psychology preference in teaching has many benefits. However, it also comes with challenges. Let us talk about them.
Few benefits that are associated with psychology preferences in teaching. The benefits includes encourage student engagement in learning, makes the student to perform well in school, better in school, and are more inclusive classroom. Recognizing and respecting different preferences in students' learning. By doing so, it promotes fairness, and it shows that everyone way of learning in the classroom is valued. Here is the few challenges of it.
It can be challenging to gather everyone's preference of learning with limited resources and time. This requires flexibility and creativity. However, the reward of creating an inclusive learning environment are worth it.
So far, we have discussed about psychology preferences of teaching and learning. And by now, I know that you know what it is about. You have to understand that as teachers, you will be exposed to many different students, and those students are unique in their ways in every aspect of life, and their uniqueness may apply also in the ways they learn as students and their thinking capability. You may have, as teachers, you may have students in your classroom that learn well by reading, or some they write a lot by learning. Some they sit in a classroom, just hear your discussion on the board, and then they learn by this. They learn by that. So you, as a good teacher who wants all of your students in the classroom to learn effectively and to be someone in the future, you have to incorporate all of these learning preferences of your student. So that is when pedagogy comes in. You have to have the pedagogical knowledge, and when you have that, you will know your students very well. You will identify your students very well, and that time you will incorporate, as a good teacher, you will incorporate those learning preferences of your students, so that you will have a classroom that is interesting with aspiring students, and your students in the classroom will learn effectively. This may not only apply to students, but it can be applied to the people you are surrounded yourself with every day. The first point that we have discussed is psychology preferences. In what psychology preferences in teaching is. Secondly, it's how psychology preferences affect teaching and learning. Thirdly, how psychology preferences impact students, teachers, and their colleagues. Fourthly, it talks about how it affects students' growth and development. In addition to the conclusion, it is important to know that psychology preferences in learning and teaching can change over time. It is not fixed. Therefore, as teachers, we need to keep adapting our teaching method or ways of teaching to meet the changing needs of our students in ways of learning in the classroom. We hope this video has given you a better understanding on psychology preferences in teaching and in learning in our Papua New Guinean classroom. For watching our video, but remember, understanding psychology preferences is a powerful tool in creating effective and inclusive classroom. So, as teachers, let us empower our students to reach their full potential.